Hey everybody, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed review of the JMS PedalMAX Throttle Enhancement device available for your 2011 and newer GT, V6, and EcoBoost Mustang. In this video, I'll talk about some of the benefits of installing the JMS PedalMAX on your S197 or your S550 Mustang, and we'll touch on the install itself. And right up front, guys, I'm going to tell you, this is a plug-and-play job. 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, but we will have a little bit more detail coming up later on. The JMS PedalMAX is going to appeal to the S197 and S550 owners out there looking to eliminate that annoying throttle lag that can sometimes be a little problematic with the newer drive-by-wire cars. Now, this thing can be used with or without your favorite custom tune, and JMS even claims a little bump in low-end power and torque, but I don't want you guys to get hung up on power numbers because that's really not what the JMS is all about. So with all that said, let's take a closer look at this product. Now, the days of having a cable-controlled throttle body are unfortunately a thing of the past. Now, I'm gonna probably sound like an old guy here, but I personally prefer having a cable-controlled throttle body to the newer drive-by-wire technology because I know the moment my foot hits the floor, that throttle body will be wide open. With the newer drive-by-wire cars, the moment your foot hits the floor, a signal gets sent to a computer, the computer tells the throttle body to open. Obviously, all this stuff happens very quickly, but if you have driven the newer drive-by-wire cars, you probably noticed the smallest bit of lag in between shifts, especially when you're really rolling gears. And that's where the JMS comes in. Now, most of these modern drive-by-wire cars are set up or pre-programmed from the factory for the masses. So this means drivability comes first, performance takes a backseat to that. Unfortunately for a lot of us Mustang owners, performance usually takes top priority, and the lazy factory throttle can sometimes get in the way of that. So what the JMS is going to do for you is monitor that throttle signal in real time from your drive-by-wire setup and then reprogram or remap that throttle signal, giving you enhanced throttle response in the process. JMS actually claims that this is going to make the car more manageable in heavy traffic situations or stop-and-go type situations where stalling can be an issue. This is even going to help modern Shelby cars, which I have heard through the grapevine can be a little difficult to drive for newer owners out there. Stalling can be an issue. JMS claims this really helps out the modern Shelby owners. Again, I can't attest to that personally as I don't daily a Shelby. So the JMS is going to monitor that throttle signal in real time from your drive-by-wire application, reprogram it or remap it on the fly, giving you increased throttle response in the process. JMS actually claims that this is going to help make your car more manageable in heavy traffic situations or stop-and-go type situations where stalling can sometimes be an issue. Right out of the box, the JMS is going to give you maximum effectiveness or maximum throttle response the moment you plug this thing in. Now, for whatever reason, it's a little too radical for you, or maybe it's a little too touchy for your driving style, you can always plug in the included red 4-pin connector, which JMS claims will desensitize this thing by about 40%. So you are still picking up a good amount of throttle response over your factory calibration, but the car shouldn't be as touchy. So in essence, you're getting 2 standard settings with the JMS right out of the box as this product sits right here. However, if you did want to have the ability to kind of fine-tune your throttle experience using the JMS PedalMAX, check out their optional control knob here on the site for another 50 bucks. It does give you a few more settings to play with, and it does give you the ability to kind of change this stuff up on the fly. Now, that's something that's not exactly easy with the JMS as it sits right now because you'd have to crawl under the dash, either plug in or unplug that 4-pin connector we just talked about. Not exactly something you can do at a red light or while on the road. Now, as far as using this thing with or without a custom tune, that's entirely up to you. But what I will say is the JMS PedalMAX here will give you some of the benefits of going with an aftermarket tune, but without having to flash the car. So for you owners out there who maybe aren't ready to pull the trigger on a tune just yet, this will be a great way to give you some of those benefits with saving you some money in the long run. On the other hand, if you did want to piggyback this on top of one of your canned tunes that you might already have, or maybe even a custom tune, that's something you can totally do as well. In fact, check out some of our customer reviews if you haven't done so already. A lot of our customers have actually done this with great success. Just check those things out for yourself. As far as price or value, the JMS will set you back just south of 300 bucks, which I admit isn't the cheapest modification for your S197 or S550, but it's certainly more affordable than some of your custom tuning options out there. Now, sure, you're not going to be getting the big power gains from the JMS like you would with those custom tunes, but there are still certainly benefits to be had with the JMS. Moving on to the install, and honestly, like I said earlier, it doesn't get much easier than this. Simple plug and play job with the JMS, maybe a few minutes from start to finish, and you really don't need a ton of tools to get this one knocked out. JMS does recommend unplugging or disconnecting your negative battery terminal first before getting started with the install. After that, simply climb under the dash, remove the plug connected to the top of the gas pedal. After that, simply plug in the JMS to that sensor there, plug in the factory harness to the JMS, and your install is complete. So that's my review of the JMS PedalMAX for your 11 to 17 Mustang, which you can get right here at AmericanMuscle.com.